Hello everyone, Jason Olea back here again, and today we got some brand new news regarding the DC Universe that has been confirmed. Now, Chapter 1 of the DC Universe had not been completed yet in terms of announcements, but so far what we got sounds pretty cool, so let's take a look. Now, the first thing we got is Superman Legacy. We're going to start off with the movies. This is going to kick off the main DC Universe, and to be honest, a Superman movie starting off an entire universe, that sounds a bit like the DCEU and how they started off, but this is going to be of a younger Superman. It's not going to be Henry Cavill, unfortunately, but honestly, I just want this movie to be good. I want to see a Superman movie in theaters for the first time. I've seen the character of Superman in theaters in movies like Justice League or Batman v Superman, but I've never been able to see even the first Man of Steel in theaters. So this is going to be very interesting for me, and I hope this movie is good. Next up, we got The Authority. I don't know who these characters are. In fact, some of these characters are pretty obscure, but that is kind of what I expected from James Gunn. He loved pulling not absurd characters, but obscure characters from the DC lineup and give them a proper movie or show and something to be recognized for. And I'm quite interested to see how it goes. I mean, he brought Guardians of the Galaxy into fame. He made the Suicide Squad good in those characters. So I have no doubt that this is a passion project for him, and I am quite interested to see what he does with this. I know he's not going to direct all these movies, but he is the creator and the creative control of everything. So technically all these projects are his movies by the end of the day. But he's talked about directors' visions and how that's important, and honestly that sounds cool to me. Next up, we got Batman, the Brave and the Bold. This will be about Batman and Robin, and this Robin is going to be Damian Wayne. He mentions that is his favorite Robin, and while I know that there's been a whole bunch of other Robins before him, and it sounds like they're again skipping Batman's history again, I'm willing to be open to this kind of story as long as it's done well and they stay true to the characters. And I am all for this movie, but the thing is, the Batman by Matt Reeves Part 2, which has also been announced, and I'm excited for that. Yeah, that's all gonna be coming out around the same time. So we got Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, whoever this new Batman is going to be, and then we're going to have Matt Reeves' Batman be an Ellsworth thing, and 4 Batmans at once. Jesus Christ, so much Batman. But yeah, I hope this movie's good, and yeah, I just hope it's good. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. This is going to be about Supergirl surviving the events of Krypton and the explosion of that planet, and how she came to be a more jagged character, and she's living on a little meteor of Krypton that has been roaming through space, I guess, and she's just surviving there. Sounds boring to me, but it sounds like it's going to be a character study of Supergirl and how she will eventually go to Earth and meet her cousin Superman. That's going to be very interesting for me to see. Swamp Thing. Love the character Swamp Thing. Think he's really interesting. I'm going to start his show pretty soon when I get the chance, at least once I have HBO Max once again. But this movie or show, whatever it's going to be, I am quite interested because he said that this is going to be along the lines of a horror movie, and I hope they stick to the horror roots. I mean, movies like New Mutants tried to do the horror thing, and it did not go as well. Doctor Strange Multiverse tried a little bit, and while that was some of the coolest stuff in the movie, it's not like a full-fledged horror movie. I hope this is a full-fledged horror movie. I want a horror superhero movie, like a true horror superhero movie. Creature Commandos. This is going to be the TV side of things now. Now, this is going to be an animated series, and for what I learned, the voice actors, whoever they're going to cast these characters, are also going to be the characters in the movies, so it could maintain continuity. So this animated series is going to be connected to everything else. That is going to be really interesting. It's going to be interesting for me. And Marvel tried to do the animated thing, but that show What If is not like connected to everything in the MCU. It's sort of like its own pocket dimension. This is actually going to be connected to the main storyline, and the events here will affect the story going forward. So yeah, that could be something new, but it makes this slate feel a lot more creative than the MCU. We got horror, we got character studies, we got pure superhero action thrillers, and then we got animated shows. And these designs here look really, really good. And if this shows ain't anything to go by, the whole design of it and art style looks like it's going to be exactly right up my alley. And you know how much I love animation and animation artwork. Now, this show, Waller. I don't understand how this is a thing, because while I'm kind of down for a Waller show, I don't necessarily think she needs one, but I think it would be pretty cool. The fact that Viola Davis is reprising her role is iffy to me. I don't understand why they brought someone from the old universe back here. I guess we're gonna have to wait till Flash confirms everything. But I got some more to talk about this subject here. But overall, kind of meh on this one. This is like the first thing that's like meh to me. Booster Gold. This is gonna be a movie about imposter syndrome, how a guy from the future uses technology to go to the past and be a superhero and kind of be someone who he really isn't. And so that sounds like a really cool character study that I'm very much down for. And this is one of the more obscure characters that I don't know of from the DC universe. And that's honestly really exciting for me. And hopefully this movie is really good and gets me invested with the character, because just by the premise alone, I love the idea already, and I'm very excited to see how this movie looks. Lanterns. We finally got a Green Lantern project out. This is going to be about Hal Jordan and Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart being like buddy cops in space and solving mysteries and fighting crime in space. And whatever this mystery is going to lead into the bigger picture of everything. From all these projects, all of them sound more like character studies, like introductions to these characters instead of world building. This feels like the first project that's going to be moving the plot forward of everything, moving toward probably a Justice League movie. And that's going to be very interesting to see. It's going to be an HBO Max series, live action. Hope the production design isn't cheap, but seeing the production design of Game of Thrones, hopefully they could use that same kind of budget for this show. Now this one, Paradise Lost. This is going to also be a TV show on HBO, maybe HBO Max, but it's going to be about the Themyscirans and how their past was like. It's going to lead up probably to a Wonder Woman movie, because this is not going to introduce Wonder Woman, but I feel like it's going to mention her at least and lead up to that moment of her birth. So yeah, this sounds interesting, sounds awesome. It sounds like some sort of Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones type of show. And while I haven't seen the Game of Thrones stuff, I have seen Lord of the Rings, and that sounds pretty awesome to me. Now, overall from this slate, if I look at it just the slate alone and not anything else around it, this is a good slate. Apart from a few meh decisions here and there, it's mostly due to just me not being familiar with some characters more than others, like the Authority or Booster Gold. But I'm willing to give these projects a chance because I know that James Gunn is good with making obscure characters relevant and important to the stories and really likable characters. I also love how varied this is. Pure superhero fun, to horror, to animation, and to crime. It's what I want to see. And a lot of these projects look like they're going to be focused on characters instead of world building. Like, you don't have a Batman v Superman type of film where it sets up the Justice League immediately. No, this is all just movies about certain characters or just groups of characters that know only each other and can be more like character studies. And that is exciting for me. It's going to be exciting for me to learn who these people are. Now, the movies that have already been announced a long time ago, like for this year with Aquaman and Shazam and everything like that, I will react to the Shazam trailer when I get the chance. But this year is gonna be like the last year we're gonna know of the past DC universe. This is gonna be the introduction to the new. But earlier I heard, apart from the Batman and Joker and other Elseworld movies continuing on, the door is still left open for actors and actresses like Jason Momoa, Gal Gadot, and Ezra Miller. Oh, bullshit. No. James Gunn, whatever you do, do not bring back Ezra Miller. Because then, what is the point of firing Henry Cavill when maniacs like him still get the job? I don't care what the reason is. That is just a dumb decision, and it's going to make me less interested in this universe if you go forward with Ezra Miller as a Flash. Or maybe they're just trying to save face. Maybe give the movies good press, and once they're all released, they just move them out of the way, and then they can really focus on this new reboot everything. So I guess maybe in terms of promoting the films, they are going to try and just do the best of lying and try to make it seem like they're going to still stick around until they'll eventually reveal that they're actually gone. I don't know what's going to happen. All I just want is for Ezra Miller to not be around. And this is why I'm not a fan of The Waller Show. They're keeping Viola Davis, which means that in some way, the previous universe still kind of matters. It means that you still gotta watch the Suicide Squad movies and Peacemaker to get what's gonna possibly happen here. But is this gonna be like a DC EU movie or like the main continuity? It's confusing, and I hope there's a little bit more clarity. But then again, they're still planning this out. This is not the entire list of movies or shows. This is not the entire first chapter. So I guess they still have a bit of time to clarify some things. This is just what they got planned so far. And so far, the ideas mostly have been pretty interesting to me. But there's a few things in there that get to me scratching my head. But all in all, this ain't that bad of a list, and most of these I'm really excited for, especially Batman and Robin and Superman. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.